All right. So what's going on, folks? So yeah, um, all I'm gonna say is that was the display and the performance that you want to see out of this team tonight. Uh, I mean, slow start at the beginning, picked it up in the second half. I think we're kind of learning what this team is and what this team is going to be going forward. Honestly, and that is a team that plays their asses off in the second half of games. You saw it in the Florida Classic last year. You saw it not really against Albany State, but I think that they finally kind of found the identity that they had been looking for. Musa, I think, is finally coming into his own. And the good news about that is you have another lower, I don't want to say lower tier because that tends to get misinterpreted all of a sudden on Twitter by certain people. But you have now a low tier team coming in next week where Musa can again build his confidence. But honestly, too, I'm going to talk about Alabama A&M after the intro because what I saw from Alabama A&M, that's nothing like what I expected from a roster that had been purely rebuilt. So they say over the offseason that a lot of people were expecting to compete in the SWAC. But yeah, now they fall to Alabama A&M falls to 0-4. FAMU rises to 2-2. This was a heck of a win. This was a much needed win. This was that confidence booster you needed. It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here, especially transitioning next week now. Now, next week, you have a chance to finally go over 500 on the season. So, without further ado, I'm going to roll the intro. Don't go anywhere. Let's do it. All right. So, yeah, let's go back. We have a comment right away. Wow. All right. We just have to let the run game flow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we do. I know you said that probably during the intro when the intro was rolling, but you're absolutely right. No, you have to. And I know that's the one question everybody is going to hint on right away is the fact that you had this team was right there on the goal line, settled for three, which is really why this game really, honestly, if you ask me, should have ended 42-25. Really, 42-19, in my opinion. But in that aspect, I don't know why we decided to just go ahead and throw it. I know one-on-one, tit for tat, matchup wise, we were beating the daylights out of them. So I do understand Willie Simmons' thinking and thought process there. But after a certain point in time in the game, you need to just go ahead and pound it in. Again, I reiterated this till Kingdom Come during the Southern game last year. Tom Brady's been showing you what to do for the past 20 plus years of how to, QB sneak it on the goal line. Get up behind your center, close that split a little bit between the guards, and just go forward and go get it. Musa has proven now that he's more than capable of doing it. So just go ahead and go get it. I don't know why we decided to just, go for the passes, go for the fade route. At some point, after the first two downs, you just got to go away from that. That's four. You got four plays there, four down territory. Call your shots up for those fade routes the first two plays. The second two plays in that aspect, run it up the gut. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like I said, Tom Brady makes it seem so easy and effortless, and he's what I think 6'4". You got Musa, who's another tall quarterback. He's what's over 6'2". I believe he's 6'4". He has the power and the capability and the legs to do it, and he's got an offensive line that's 10 times better than the one that was across from them tonight. You can get leverage and get a push and get a touchdown there, or just turn around and hand it off to Jennings or McLeod. They were dominating all night long. So I don't understand why. Exactly, he can, and I don't know why he's not utilized in that facet. I have no idea why he is, but he's not utilized enough in that facet. I don't get it. But if you've noticed, the last two quarterbacks under Willie Simmons didn't run either. Ryan Stanley, when Willie Simmons came in, did not run as much. McKay last year hardly ever ran. I think McKay running was about as common as a blue moon. He started slow but dominated the last three quarters. I like our offensive line. Oh yeah, definitely. They At first I was kind of worried because I was like Alabama A&M's going up and down the field pretty easy, but then I think once they made the adjustments and kind of settled into the game, they were able to stop Alabama A&M's offense. Oh yeah, exactly. You could see the physicality. Just that scale was so different. Honestly, like as the game wore on, if you've noticed, Alabama A&M guys started to just drop one by one by one by one. And I said it earlier, the more mentally tough team will close this game out. And again, it speaks to Willie Simmons' offseason conditioning program with these strength coaches, offensive line definitely on fleek. Yeah. Oh yeah. You have a meaner, nastier, bigger offensive line. And now that your offense has figured it out, and I think as we go along, the running game will pick up more because your rushing attack tonight only had 81 yards. Your leading rusher, Terrell Jennings, had 59 yards on 11 carries. So I think the fact that the passing game caught more heat and got hotter, they just went with that. But I do think that as the season goes on, it'll balance itself out. So you'll definitely see the running game pick up, and the offensive line will be able to impose their will in a greater facet going forward. But oh my gosh, where was I? But yeah, you just the slow start was kind of that made everyone a little bit hesitant early, and then the fact that at one point in this game, Alabama A&M went up 12-7 at one point in this game, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And I think I was honestly the same way too. A lot of us, but after that first quarter, and then I think once FAMU was able to snatch the lead and catch up to him, it was like, all right, this is going to start to go somewhere now. Because if you notice, once FAMU got that lead, they didn't release it. And then the other thing too is a lot of those points FAMU gave them. Because honestly, the safety, of course, and then not picking up tight end rolling out of the backfield, which is, I believe that's the same play that Nick Saban used for O.J. Howard in the national title game against Clemson. If you're able to pick that up, they don't get all these points. Those are just the simple give me plays that they got. After that, and once this defense adjusted, they shut these guys down. Now tonight, that was almost too many yards as far as rushing goes, because you gave up almost 200 yards rushing on the ground. As far as passing goes, you gave up 197 yards on the ground or in the air. So you look to see that improve, but the one good thing about this was Xavier Langford had a bad day at the office. 18 of 28, 180 yards passing, 1 TD, 2 interceptions. Not the best day that you could ask for. And I think that speaks a testament to this defensive front, generating pressure, making life miserable for him. And I kept saying it before the game started. If you beat up Xavier Langford and make him uncomfortable, he will put the ball on the ground. He will turn it over. And that's what they did. Now, give or take 2, this defense also dropped 2 interceptions. Or no, this defense dropped 1 interception, and then at the same time after that, you let go of an easy scoop and score that you could have had. So you left 2 TDs on the board, honestly. Because if you look at it now, 38 points, you could have easily scored 52 in this game. You turn those two plays right there, one or two plays can make a whole world of a difference in a football game. Those one or two plays, we're looking at 52-25. That's how close this is to really being what we know it can be. Also, too, I want to say thank you to the 1,000 followers on Twitter. We appreciate all of you for your follows. If y'all could, go to not the comment section, but the info part of our page on Twitter. Hit the YouTube link and subscribe on this right here on YouTube. Facts. Gotta be able to mix up the run and pass. Easily could have ran it up. Oh yeah. No, honestly, I was like, I don't know if Willie's gonna pull him here soon, but I kind of felt that you could have put up 40 on these guys. You could have at least gotten one more touchdown. Oh yeah, even with the second team, honestly, because if yeah, exactly. Because Cameron Sapp, who was 3 of 3 tonight, also by the way for 24 yards, he and Nick Dixon had a chemistry right there for a hot minute, and I felt, I was like, all right, this is gonna go somewhere eventually. Get down in the red zone, stick to the rushing game. We got something, but it was all for naught, fortunately. Oh yeah, you did. They did. Like I said, 52-25 should have been the final. Should have. And really, they shouldn't have even gotten the 25. Half of those points they didn't even really work for. They started out hot, and I think they were hoping, honestly, on their part, that FAMU would kind of just, fold up a little bit for him. But that wasn't the case. Him and Oxen. Yes. Actually, what's very impressive here is it was shared tonight because Jamari Shareed, 107 receptions, 138 yards. Xavier Smith, 8 receptions, 97 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nick Dixon, third leading receiver, 3 receptions, 27 yards. Darian Oxendine, 2 receptions, 20 yards. But, in those 20 yards, he made an impact. Real cold. It's starting to come together for them slowly. Oh yeah, I can honestly say I feel like this offense is in a way better spot this year at this point than it was last year. Coming out of that, I believe it was South Carolina State. No, it was Alabama State. Coming out of it, going into that Alabama State game, coming out of that, and then going into South Carolina State, this team is in a way better place. He got 100 yards with that last touchdown. Honestly, ESPN is saying that Xavier Smith had 97 yards, but I saw somewhere where I could have swore he had 100. But I think there was a play where he got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, so that may have hindered his receiving yards. Because I remember he did, like, on a simple screen pass, he did lose yards. He lost about 3 yards, so that might have taken him out of a 100-yard game. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, so that might have been it. That one little screen pass. So if that screen pass doesn't happen, you got 2 wide receivers really that essentially had a 100-yard game. And I think now we're seeing, because Trevonte Davis didn't play tonight, you're seeing the 2 wide receivers that are the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. Yeah, he did. Yep. Okay, so he did. But yeah, I think now you're seeing the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and because I'm always a stickler for finding the top 3 wide receivers on the squad, now I get to ask the question: who's the wide receiver number 3 going to be on this squad? I know I've beat a dead horse for wide receiver number 2, but who's going to be the 3rd wide receiver on the team? You can make an argument for David Manigo. You can, and I think that's really who it is going to be. He's technically your jump ball threat in the red zone. Although, again, if it's not working, run the ball. But, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree. He actually made one heck of a catch tonight, too. I believe he made a catch. He got hit right in the gut. I think he got the wind knocked out of him, and then he absorbed the blow, spun off of it, and then still kept going. So, he's about as tough as they come. It's got my respect. Definitely got my respect. And then as far as interceptions go, Javon Morgan, his interception went for 25 yards, and Darius Fagan, his game-changing interception, his 4-yard interception led to really opening the floodgates in this one. And you know what? That's the other thing. I came away very disappointed in Alabama A&M. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did. Yeah, very good. Now you got to build on it for next week. You got to build on it for next week. And thankfully, again, you don't have I don't want to say not a quality opponent, but because they did only lose by 3 last year, but you have a not better either. Let me find a good word for it. You have another opponent that's coming in that you can run the score up on. Just the coaching calls on the running plays. Yes, exactly. That's got to get better because let's say you do get in a pinch, you got to be smarter on the goal line. Because honestly, really, if you don't even keep it under center and just go in with it or hand it off to your running back, play action bootlegs always work. Play action on the goal line, and especially for some, really in this conference, hate to put everybody down like that, but seems like everybody bites on play action because nobody really runs it in this conference. So play action on the goal line, release the tight end out, or release both tight ends out to one side. Fake like you're going in one direction, come back the other. It'll work. A&M BCU playing Daytona next week. Honestly, I like Bethune to win that game. I do like Bethune to win that game. Because for one, you're going to Daytona. I don't know what the temperature right now is in Huntsville, but that's going to be a rough turnaround to have to adjust like that. Coming back from Huntsville back down to Florida like this, knowing you're not playing your best ball, knowing you're already going to be winded because you couldn't even play a full complete game at 6 o'clock. Did they? I could have swore I saw where they won. Did they lose? Let me check that. I could have swore it. Wait a minute. My fault. Y'all give me a break for a second. I'm trying to look at this. Oh no, Bethune won. Bethune beat Grambling 36-19 today. Yeah. Basically 19 unanswered points in the second half for Bethune-Cookman today. So yeah. Oh yeah. I like Bethune to beat this Alabama A&M team. Alabama A&M offensively, outside of Ibrahim, I don't see much quality. And quite honestly, their offensive line, in my opinion, is not the top tier offensive line that I expected them to be, for as much as they bragged about bringing all these transfers in and basically rebuilding and getting a whole new. You're good, man. You're good. But I don't think Alabama A&M is really the same after everything we've heard this offseason. I came away very disappointed, honestly. I think a little bit of it is, Jaron Williams, the Miami transfer, stepping away because mental health is a real thing. So that kind of put a dent in everything for him. And then Xavier Langford, I don't think that he has really turned out to be everything that they expected him to be. And then you have a terrible offensive line that we already knew about coming into this game. So, there's all of those factors that play in too. But I will say again, for the second straight year, the Rack Boys were better than the Outlaws, or if they still call themselves that, because receiving-wise, FAMU had 347 yards. Alabama A&M had 197. So once again, the Rack Boys get the better of the Outlaws. Now, the team that's next on the slate for FAMU, it is Mississippi Valley. Mississippi Valley is going to come in off of a loss to Jackson State today. I think they got beat, 49 to what was it, 40? Oh my gosh, where is it? How much did they lose by today? Yeah, yards out to catch. Yep. You were absolutely right. Oh, they lost 49-7 today to Jackson State. But also, too, before I do transition to that, I will say today you saw an example of the mental toughness that FAMU has and still has. And again, testament to Coach Simmons in this offseason summer conditioning program. They did for like the first series. After that, it was kind of ugly. But yeah. But yeah, I think that what you saw today is a testament to Willie Simmons in this summer conditioning program that FAMU has, because you had an instance where they could have folded, or they could have just let it all fall apart and get to him again. But they were able to stay as the more mentally tough team, and they were able to stay dialed in, and they were able to still finish out this game, make the tough catches when they had to. You saw, for instance, Alabama A&M's wide receivers not making the plays that needed to be made late in games. Coach Maynard got desperate, stopped going for it on fourth down. Alabama A&M oh yeah, no, they're not. They're probably going to get 60 hung on them again in the first quarter and part of the second quarter. Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Okay, no wonder they didn't give up 60. That makes sense. So yeah, I mean, look again, and that Mississippi Valley is going to come in thinking that they can play with you, regardless of what they see on tape today, because they're going to view it as, you know what, we lost to this team by 3 points last year. We can play with these guys if we come in like we're ready to play. You got to do you got to start faster next week and finish with the same intensity that you finished with today. Because a team like Mississippi Valley, you got to take it away from them early. The whole thing of leave no doubt, unfinished business, leave no doubt with Mississippi Valley. Like I said, you got to take it away from them early. No stone left unturned. Don't let them even think that they have a chance going into the second quarter or second half. My fault. Jeez. Vacation's getting to me. But, yeah. Oh, okay. We already had that one pop up. But, yeah, I mean, outside of that, too, let's see. How did the schedule look today around MEAC or around the SWAC? Let's see. So as far as scores around the SWAC goes today, of course, FAMU throttled Alabama A&M. Alcorn's in a dogfight right now with Arkansas Pine Bluff. Bethune beats Grambling. Jackson State beat the daylights out of Mississippi Valley. The Roadrunners, University of Texas San Antonio, beat up on Texas Southern. Prairie View goes into Montgomery and takes down Alabama State. May or may not last up to. Honestly, That's an interesting take. Because I only say that because of this. Give or take, it was spring. He delivered a SWAC title in spring 2021. He delivered a SWAC title. So it's hard to say. Now, and then last year too, he went 7-4. Now, I think what he needs to do is he needs to rally his squad, and he's got to be able to finish this off the right way. Whoa, did not want that to happen. Yeah, I think he still needs to rally his squad and be able to finish this off the right way. Because look, you're 0-4. You went 7-4 last year. There's really, as far as games left on their schedule, I'll say this. They play Bethune next week. I don't think they're beating Bethune. They play Grambling. That's a toss-up. I don't know. They play Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's a gettable game if they come ready to play. Magic City Classic on the 29th. Yeah, I don't think they're winning that. Mississippi Valley, they can win that. Jackson State, they losing that. Texas Southern, I don't know. So I will say, as far as surefire W's left on the schedule, I see maybe 2 more. I see maybe 2 wins on the schedule at the moment right now for Alabama A&M. So I don't really know. So we'll see. But folks, if nobody else has any questions, Yeah, if nobody else has any questions, that's going to do it for me. So, yeah, this was a heck of a win tonight. Yeah. Heck of a win tonight. As I already said, if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. So yeah, there it is right there. And also to be sure to leave comments in the comment section, as always. So yeah, that's the recap for tonight. FAMU basically comes out on top 38-25. Could have been 52-25. Honestly, if you ask me, Moose had a great day. Xavier Smith had a great day. Jamari Shareed had a great day. Defense stepped up to the plate. Next week is Mississippi Valley at home. Hopefully, this tropical storm or hurricane has no bearing on the game. Looking forward to it. I know for a fact I'll be there next week in Tallahassee. And then I'll be back again for homecoming. Not too certain about the Southern game at the moment. But yeah, as always, Last Get podcast, Tuesday nights with Flash and Ace. Running Gun podcast with me and Ace. Wednesday nights, we'll wrap this one up and put it to bed. And then we're back here again. I want to say Friday night to break down FAMU and Mississippi Valley for Saturday, because Saturday morning I'll be traveling, and then all that jazz. But yeah, so folks, we thank you so much for listening and watching. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed. We will see you Tuesday night.